Recently, I talked about a video game I really like called Barista, but something I didn't mention as much detail as I originally wanted to was the game's soundtrack. The game's soundtrack, composed by Kevin Penkin, is probably one of my most listened to soundtracks of all time, right next to Firewatch. I often have it on my list to Spotify, and the music of both of these games perfectly depicts the moments and atmospheres they play in. Sunrise in Limbo feels exactly like its title, the nostalgic isolation of being alone in a street illuminated with only the amber light from the nearest street lamp, as the sun far away slowly starts to rise, tinting the sky with warm colours. Firewatch also had the power to do this in a lot of its tracks. North Back County feels the most at home in these woods in the day or the mid-evening, where you feel comfortable in an awareness of all the life surrounding you, the music spurring you on as you explore. Maybe you'll see a deer or find a cache filled with items with no context or importance to you, but those items have immense importance to the people who put them there. Well, maybe not immense as they left it there, but still, more importance than you'll ever know. The tracks do a brilliant job at painting a picture of a world, not a fully realised one, but one that has so much you'd like to exist in. It spurs you to keep on playing, to keep learning more about the characters in Barista and their struggles. It encourages you to keep exploring in Firewatch, to uncover everything you can, open every cache you find and read stories with no conclusions. Find items to make it all feel more lived in, to make you know you're alone and you can feel a level of comfort in that loneliness. But what about when that kind of music has no visual partner? What if the music painted a picture of a world you never had any other kind of window into? No characters to directly see, just vague ideas of ones told through music you can barely get a grasp on. Well, in that case, you'd end up with an artist like datfootdive. datfootdive is an artist I discovered last year through the Evangelion AMV scene on YouTube, through a video called datfootdive: A Visual Odyssey. The video pairs the visuals of the Evangelion rebuild films with Dive's music, and honestly it fits fantastically. Although this isn't the only tie between datfootdive and Evangelion, several of their albums have Evangelion imagery as its cover, from an image of Asuka to these faded, distant images of Rei. Audio from Evangelion is used in aspects of some of the songs, and on top of that, the music seems like it would fit perfectly in that world. A world of people absorbed in themselves against their own will, tormented by aspects of their lives they can't escape, or things they try to overcome but just come narrowly short. The music feels like it reflects it. Misato lying on the desk unable to sleep, Shinji walking the streets alone, Rei in her room. The music feels like listening to this world, but it's distant, like pressing your ear up against a door to hear what's on the other side, or watching through a foggy window or an old TV with all the static. The music even plays with this idea itself. Sometimes tracks will change their audio quality to be lower, as if it was playing through an old speaker or an old TV. There were hiccups like it's something coming from a half-broken record player. Even though in a lot of music I say this takes you out of the moment, in this case it immerses you in it. This music feels right at home in something like FLCL or bebop. Sometimes the music starts off quiet and fades in, and then just loops in limbo for a few moments. They never take so long as to be annoying, but you never really realise how long the song's been going on for until it fades out. The songs never really have endings in the way that you normally associate endings with music. The music will always either fade out slowly or just stop abruptly. There's never any kind of closure. The same goes for how they start actually. You'd struggle to find a song that starts conventionally or ends conventionally in datfootdive's discography. Just an abrupt start or a slow fade into these long, looping, never-ending moments. Until they end. You can only keep your ear against that door for so long before the conversation on the other side you're trying to eavesdrop on ends. You can only stay in front of the screen for so long, and yes, you'll want to watch more, hear more, but there's no more there, just that middle to return to. No start, no end, no conclusion or closure. Just a collection of never-ending moments.